We're back here in Chicago at the Democratic National Convention. We're joined by Arvind Venkat, who represents the Pittsburgh area in the state legislature in Pennsylvania, a swing state. Arvind, you're the first Indian American to represent the legislature. Give us your perspective on what it's like in the trenches of one of the most important states in the union this election season.
Yeah, being the first Indian American in our state house, what I see representing a swing suburban area is that this is going to be a very close election, but that we in the Indian American community and the South Asian community are really going to make the difference in Pennsylvania. The growth of the South Asian community has been extraordinary in this area. And in my district, which is one of the purple kind of very important critical communities in determining who wins Pennsylvania, the focus really is on how do we build an economy for everyone, how are we a welcoming community for everyone, and do we protect fundamental rights like abortion, address gun violence, and make sure that healthcare is more affordable and accessible. So I think that's going to make the difference, and Vice President Harris is very well positioned in that way.
Let's talk about outreach in Pennsylvania specifically. I know both campaigns are hitting the ground running, hitting all four corners. But obviously we heard the data just before the RNC saying that about 20% of Indian Americans were not going to support the Biden campaign. Obviously that has changed now that Vice President Harris is at the top of the ticket. But what kind of outreach do you see on the ground in Pennsylvania to say, hey, for those folks that went independent, which was most of them, how do you bring them back into the fold?
There's an extraordinary amount of energy for Vice President Harris. I was actually out canvassing when President Biden decided to drop out and Vice President Harris became our nominee. And it was instantaneous, the energy that was there in my community. And so I've personally knocked on 29,000 doors in my district. And I know that that grassroots engagement is how we win this election. And that's true for the Harris campaign. They have a number of offices in the Pittsburgh area, including in the north suburbs of Pittsburgh. And they're constantly having outreach to the community, including the Asian American and Indian American community, to really make sure that this election moves forward in a good way.